All right, so today we're doing the deep dive into Noura Homes. They're a luxury custom home builder, and they've been making a real name for themselves here in the greater Vancouver area.
Yeah.
If you're thinking about building your dream home and you're looking for quality areas, Noura Homes has a really impressive track record.
They do.
I mean, just this year, they got 3 nominations for the Chamber of Commerce Business Excellence Awards.
Mhm.
So that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it really is.
So they build beautiful homes. But we're going deeper than that today.
Yeah.
What is it that makes them stand out?
hmm
What's that special something, and what's it really like to work with them? Let's find out.
Well, one of the things that really strikes me about Noura Homes is their history. They were founded way back in 1992 by Jamila.
Oh, wow.
And if you think about the construction world, back then it was a really tough industry for women to break into.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for her to not only start a company, but to build it into a successful home building business, I mean, that takes some serious vision. And it kind of reminds me of Lynn Shu's story with McDonald Realty. Another incredibly powerful woman who really broke down barriers in a male-dominated industry.
It's so inspiring, isn't it? They're real pioneers.
Yeah, for sure.
And you know what else is interesting? They really focus on building homes for families.
That's right.
It's not just about luxury. It's about creating these spaces that are really meant for families to live and grow in. And
Yeah.
they've got projects all over, don't
They
they?
do. They're all over the place.
Burke Mountain, Westwood Plateau, Central, Coquitlam, Maple Ridge, Walk Ridge, even Chilliwack.
Yeah, that's a really good point because that community focus is really key to their work.
It is.
If you look at projects like Emerald Ridge and Maple Ridge or Marble Hill and Chilliwack,
Yeah.
you really see that family-centric design philosophy come to life.
They're not just houses, are they?
No, they're not. They're really thoughtfully designed environments that are really made for family.
Okay, so let's imagine for a second you're Noura Homes and you're thinking, okay, we want to take things to that next level. Enter Dimitri Schwartzman.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this guy is a family man. He's got 6 kids.
6 kids. Wow.
So I'm thinking he probably understands what families need in a home more than most people.
He probably does. And it's not just about having a big family. It's about the fact that he's been working in real estate for over a decade and specifically with builders.
Okay.
So he's been involved in new home sales, those deficiency walkthroughs, which are so important, custom additions. I mean, he's seen it all.
Now, hold on for a second. For people who maybe aren't familiar with the whole new home building process,
Yeah.
what exactly is a deficiency walkthrough?
It's a really detailed inspection of the home before the buyer actually takes possession.
Right.
And the whole point is to look for anything that doesn't meet the agreed upon standards, anything that needs to be fixed or finished by the builder.
Oh, so it's like a final quality check.
Exactly. It's all about making sure that that home is truly move-in ready.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And it's really important that everything is built to the specifications that were outlined in the contract. And Dimitri's expertise in this area, along with, his understanding of families, really makes him a good fit for Noura Homes.
I can see that.
He can kind of anticipate potential issues even before they come up,
Oh, that's good.
which makes the whole process smoother and less stressful for everyone involved.
It's like he's got a 6th sense for what families are looking for.
Yeah, maybe he does.
And here's where it gets even more interesting. Dimitri is super involved in the Vancouver AI community.
That's right.
He's a major sponsor. And get this, one of his kids actually started the Surrey chapter.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah.
So what do you see as the potential there, if we kind of connect those dots for Noura Homes?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because I think that's a really important piece of this whole puzzle.
Okay.
Noura Homes does have a presence on Facebook and LinkedIn. They're showcasing their projects, their updates, which is great, but let's be real, they could be doing a lot more in the digital world.
Yeah, for sure.
And Dimitri's experience with AI could be huge for them, especially when it comes to reaching their target audience online.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Give me an example. How could AI actually help Noura Homes connect with more families who are looking to build their dream homes?
Well, imagine if they could use AI algorithms to analyze data about potential clients.
Yeah.
Their preferences, their lifestyle, their budget,
Uh-huh.
and then use that information to create super personalized marketing campaigns.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, and they could recommend specific home designs or features that really match what each family is looking for.
So it's like instead of just showing generic content to everyone,
Exactly.
they're really tailoring their message to speak directly to the needs and desires of each family.
Precisely.
Wow, so it's like taking that personal touch that they're already known for
Yeah.
and amplifying it through technology.
Yeah, exactly. And that's really just the beginning. We haven't even talked about how AI could help them enhance their online presence overall.
Okay, give me another example.
Well, think about AI-powered chatbots on their website. They could be used to answer common questions, schedule appointments, maybe even provide virtual tours of homes.
Oh, that's a good idea.
It could make the whole experience much more interactive and engaging for anyone visiting their website.
And that would free up their team to focus on the more complex interactions and really provide that personalized service that they're known for.
Exactly.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm starting to see the potential here, but let's shift gears for a moment. You mentioned earlier that Dimitri has a personal connection to Maple Ridge.
He does.
What's the story there?
Well, he actually moved his whole family from Richmond to Maple Ridge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he had such a strong real estate practice in that area that it just made sense for them to make the move.
It did.
So he's not just selling homes in Maple Ridge, he's living there. He's raising his family there.
Right.
He's really a part of that community.
That's a really authentic connection.
It is, and that kind of local expertise is so valuable when you're representing a builder like Noura Homes. He understands the community, he understands the schools, the lifestyle, all of the things that matter to families.
It's like he's walking the walk. He's not just talking the talk.
Exactly. And you know what's even more interesting? Noura Homes actually built a community of homes called Emerald Ridge in Maple Ridge.
Oh.
It's almost like fate brought them together.
Okay, I'm officially hooked. But before we get totally lost in daydreams of these amazing homes, let's zoom out for a second and look at the big picture.
Okay.
We've covered a lot of ground already. But what does it all mean for Noura Homes and for Dimitri if they were to actually team up?
Right. Well, that's a great question. I think what's really exciting is the potential for Noura Homes to really benefit from this kind of partnership.
Yeah.
They've got this solid foundation, they're building great quality homes, they're focused on families. But, these days, that's not always enough.
Right.
You need to have a strong online presence to really stand out and connect with those potential clients.
So how do we bridge that gap? Then we've got Noura Homes with these beautiful homes. They know what families need and they want to reach more people. And then we got Dimitri who gets families and also has that digital marketing expertise. And he's established in a key market for Noura Homes.
Yeah.
How do we connect those dots?
We have to think about how people buy homes today. It all starts online. Families are on Instagram. They're looking for inspiration. They're getting ideas for their dream home. And Noura Homes needs to be a part of that conversation.
You're so right. It's not enough to just have a Facebook page or a LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
They need to be out there engaging with people, showing off their work, telling their story, and doing it in a way that's visually appealing.
Exactly. And that's where Dimitri's expertise could be so valuable. He could help them come up with a social media strategy that's really visually stunning, that's family-oriented, and that speaks directly to their audience. And, Instagram would be perfect for them.
Oh, it's all about visual storytelling. Imagine those gorgeous homes, happy families enjoying those spaces, maybe even some behind-the-scenes peeks at the design process, the building process.
I can see it now. Drone shots of those beautiful houses.
Yeah.
Testimonials from happy families. It's all about creating that emotional connection, right?
Absolutely. You want to build that trust and show people that Noura Homes really gets them.
Yeah, they understand their needs, their aspirations.
And, we talked about AI earlier, and I think that could play into their marketing strategy as well.
Oh, for sure. I was just thinking about that.
Mm-hmm.
How could they use AI to really personalize that whole home buying experience?
Well, what if they use AI to analyze data about a family's preferences? What kind of lifestyle they have, what their budget is.
Okay.
And then they could use that information to recommend specific home designs or features that would be a perfect fit.
So instead of taking this one-size-fits-all approach,
Exactly.
they could actually tailor their communication to each family. That's pretty cool.
It is. And AI could also be used to improve their online presence in other ways. We talked about chatbots earlier.
Uh-huh.
Imagine having AI-powered chatbots on their website that could answer frequently asked questions.
Oh, that's a good idea.
They could even schedule appointments, maybe even offer those virtual tours that we talked about.
Right.
It just makes the whole experience so much more interactive for potential clients, and it frees up Noura Homes' team to focus on those more in-depth conversations.
It's about streamlining the whole experience, making it smooth and enjoyable for everyone involved.
Right. And, in such a competitive market, that could really set Noura Homes apart.
Absolutely. Okay, so this all sounds amazing, but I have to ask, is this all realistic? Can they actually do this and transform their business?
Well, it's not about doing everything overnight. It's about having a strategy for growth. And remember, they already have a strong foundation.
Right.
Now it's about bringing in those modern digital approaches that really resonate with families today.
And that's where Dimitri comes in, right? He's that bridge between their traditional strengths and the digital world.
He brings experience, he brings passion, and he brings the connections to actually make this happen.
I really think this could be a game changer for Noura Homes,
Yeah, me too.
but we've been focusing a lot on Noura Homes. What about Dimitri? What's in it for him? Why would he be interested in this kind of partnership?
Well, I think for Dimitri, it's a chance to really make a difference. He could use his knowledge and his skills to help this family-owned business thrive.
And he'd be working with a company that shares his values, a company that's dedicated to families.
Yeah, it's a win-win for sure. And let's not forget the personal satisfaction that comes with helping families find their dream homes.
Yeah, that must be really rewarding.
It is.
Okay, so we've talked about Noura Homes, their legacy, their potential partnership with Dimitri. We've explored the power of digital marketing and AI and how they could use all of that to reach more people and create a more personalized experience. But we haven't really talked about the client experience yet. And at the end of the day, it's all about the families who will actually be living in these homes. So what is it about the Noura Homes experience that sets them apart? What are they doing to go above and beyond for their clients?
It's really about understanding that building a custom home is such a personal journey for families. It's not just about choosing finishes and fixtures. It's about creating this whole space that reflects their story, their dreams, their vision of what home means to them.
It's a big decision for sure, and I can imagine it can get pretty overwhelming. So how does Noura Homes help families feel comfortable, throughout that process?
Well, transparency is key. They're really big on open communication and keeping their clients informed every step of the way.
I like that.
So there are no surprises, and it takes the stress out of building a home and makes it more of an exciting experience.
Right, so it's more like they're a partner, not just a contractor.
Yeah, exactly. And they have this dedicated team of professionals who are so passionate about what they do, and they really care about their clients. It's like having your own personal concierge for your dream home.
So there's always someone there to guide them, answer their questions.
Right, to make sure everything runs smoothly.
And it must be really reassuring for families, especially those who haven't built a custom home before.
Oh, for sure. And on top of that, they're committed to using those top quality materials, and they really pay attention to the details.
Right. No cutting corners.
No, they want to build homes that are going to last.
Yeah, that peace of mind is important, knowing your home is built to those high standards. But it's also about creating a space that's functional and beautiful and reflects the family's personality. So how do they find that balance?
Well, they have a very collaborative approach to design. They really work closely with their clients to understand their lifestyle, their needs, their aesthetic preferences, and their goal is to create a home that's really tailored to each individual family.
Not just a cookie-cutter design. I like that, a home that's as unique as the family that lives there. Earlier we talked about a client testimonial. What did they have to say about their experience with Noura Homes?
They were really impressed with their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction.
Okay.
They said it felt like they were part of the family, not just a transaction.
Wow, that says a lot about their company culture.
It does. It shows they're not just focused on the bottom line. They genuinely want to make people happy.
It sounds like they really go the extra mile.
Yeah, from the initial consultation all the way to the final walkthrough, they're committed to exceeding their clients' expectations.
So we learned a lot today about Noura Homes. They've got this incredible history of building quality homes and a deep commitment to families. And we explored this really exciting possibility of a partnership with Dimitri, who brings all of his expertise and passion to the table.
Right.
And we even talked about how they could use digital marketing and AI to create a more personalized home buying experience.
For sure.
And on top of all of that, they've got this client-centric approach that puts transparency and collaboration at the forefront.
Absolutely.
It seems like they're doing a lot of things right.
They are.
But as we wrap up, here's a question for you to think about. In this world where technology is constantly changing, how can Noura Homes continue to innovate and create an even more personalized and cutting-edge home buying experience for families in the future?
Right. What role could virtual reality or augmented reality play in allowing families to actually see and customize their dream homes, before they're even built?
Those are great questions. It sounds like they're not afraid to embrace new ideas and push the boundaries. So if you're thinking about building your dream home, I definitely encourage you to check out Noura Homes and see for yourself how their passion for quality family and client satisfaction can make that dream a reality. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.